All right, welcome back. Week 15, Dirty 30 pod. We got Devi and Rody in the house. How we doing, boys?
Good,
Good.
good.
Yeah.
Happy to be back from vacation and even happier to see I got a first round bye.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's a good feeling kind of sitting back and watching everyone battle it out, I'm sure. So,
All the peasants.
all the peasants.
One win and we're in the money, baby.
Heck yeah, man. Kind of a weird one last week, definitely thought like you were going to take the one seed overall for sure, and then yeah, just kind of weird shit kind of happening. So we'll kind of talk about that a little bit with studs and duds this week. Yeah, and then we'll kind of zero in on like matchups, right? We're gonna kind of pull up the playoff bracket, look at everyone's matchup, see who has good matchups with players, see who has bad matchups with players. Then we'll kind of go into bench players as well that will outscore the starters. So studs and duds last week. Debbie, who do you got for your stud? Who do you got for your dud?
I wrote down a few people. You
Yeah.
kind of discussed what the show is going to be, and I got after it right away and did my homework. I'm going with an interest. I don't think this guy's ever been a stud before.
Hell yeah.
Um, and from Craig's team,
Hell yeah.
Evan Ingram, 27 points,
Very studly, dude.
11 catches, 98 yards, two touchdowns. Just a random ass stud. Probably will never even say his name again with the studs, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I thought that was just kind of a fun one. So yeah, I
Yeah.
think he did a, good
And
job. So,
helped get them into playoffs, right?
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I dig it. Who's the dud?
Dad definitely had a few to choose from. Um, I was gonna go with one guy, but I think I'm changing my mind. I think I'm gonna pick on Christian, who's probably not here because he doesn't want to look me in the face after a brutal loss last week. His team's not even that scary.
Olays.
Jamar Chase, 3 catches, 29 yards, 4.4 points. Not great. Not what you're expecting. None of his receivers really, I mean JJ got hurt, but
Yeah.
just you're hoping for some more there.
Yeah, definitely. Kind of a weird like Bengals game. They put up a lot of points, but like Chase didn't really have any of it for some reason.
Yeah.
Rody, stud and dud of last week.
So I'll kind of follow on Dev's footsteps here, and I'm probably going to say a name that doesn't pop up here very often.
Heck yeah.
Matt Frank, great streamer, but David Njoku, he had 24 points, two touchdowns, probably what 80 yards or whatever.
Yeah.
Uh,
Beast mode.
he was needed, and don't know if he can do that again, but congratulations starting him for the week that he did it.
Yeah.
Double tight end stud. Interesting.
Very interesting. And very studly again last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, his best game probably of his 4-year career. So I dig it. Dud of last week, buddy.
Dud, I'm gonna kind of keep the theme going here, and I don't think he really pops up here very often, but Stephon Diggs. Dude has not been very good as of late. Josh Allen still seems to be playing okay, but it's not with that Diggs catching the ball. So yeah, I thought he's underperformed, not necessarily just last week, but in the past prior 2 weeks as well.
Yeah. Nope, I hear you, man. I dig it. Yep. Stud of last week for me. I think he was a stud last week. Stud again this week. Debo. Like just a man in the open field, dude. Another couple touchdowns, 30 points, like had 100 plus yards receiving, 50 or something yards rushing, couple tutties. Like it was solid. Tyler needed the win to get in. Unfortunately, didn't get in, but Debo's been hot, man.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm picking on Eric. He needed to win last week, but the dud of DeAndre Swift, 3.9 points. That game was just
Brutal.
over early. Like Eagles couldn't do shit last week. It was just kind of a weird game. But yeah, man, 3.9 points. Just kind of didn't try to run the ball. Couldn't really pass the ball either. The Eagles just kind of looked weird. So yeah, try to share my screen. It's all about this week. We got people trying to advance in playoffs. We got people trying to stay out of the toilet bowl. We got a lot of interesting stuff going on here, man. So let's kind of share it up. Let's see our playoff bracket. Our hope here is to like kind of talk through matchups, right, and talk through like individual players that we think like might kind of exceed, right. And we're gonna look at individual players who like have a tough matchup, right, and like might not get like projected points here as well. So we're gonna start with the 3 versus 6. This was kind of my assigned matchup here. We got Christian the 3 versus Craig the 6. And right now Christian's projected to win. He got 120 points, got 14 points up on Craig. I like a lot of Craig's matchups here though. I didn't really find a whole lot of like bad matchups. I loved the Stafford pickup for Craig. I thought that was like shoot your shot, man. You look over Twitter, like Stafford is like everyone's like DFS play this week, which I get, right? You got Washington. Shoot your shot. I like it. I also thought Lockett had a great matchup with Philly, right? Kind of Craig's wide receivers are definitely his weak spot, right? But like Lockett having a nice little plus matchup there. And then Bijan versus Carolina. Like all good stuff, right? Like could I see Bijan like having a career game and like kind of, like really giving it to him in the fourth quarter? Like I certainly could. So all good stuff. I thought I saw off Craig. And then again, I saw good stuff with Christian too. Like I didn't have a whole lot of negative matchups. I think James Conner versus San Fran's tough, right? But Dak, CD, like that stack has just been awesome for him. Playing against Buffalo, who like that defense no longer really scares you too much.
Mm-hmm.
Kittle, I thought had a great matchup against Arizona. He's been on fire. Christian's kind of weird though. Like he doesn't have any money, right? I think he's kind of said that a few times now in the chat, and like has quite a few guys who are kind of questionable, which I kind of noticed. Devon Achan, JJ, Jamar Chase, Watson, I think will eventually be out, right? So
Yeah.
I mean, I think most of those players play, right? And I think most things are fine, but like really can't have like too many injuries on that team throughout playoffs, which is just something I kind of just came across and thought I noticed here.
Yeah, I agree.
Anything you guys want to add? Yeah.
One thing I'll add for our bench players to outscore their starter this week, I'm
Yes,
gonna go
sir.
bold. I think that Tyreek realizes that last week he didn't get quite the yards that he wanted for his 2,000-yard season. So I'm gonna go Tua over Stafford. I think Reek goes off with that one. And especially against Christian would be even more bittersweet to see his Dolphins torch the Jets defense, but he goes against Tua.
Interesting.
I like that, right? And like sounds like dependent on if Tyreek plays, right?
Correct.
Yeah. I like it though. Yeah, Miami was like had a big stinker last week too, right? So like could you see them come back and just kind of go off on the Jets?
Right.
I dig it, man. I
like
love
that.
it. I love it. A lot of advantages. Look like it's kind of going Christian's way here, but it should be a great matchup, right? It should be a lot of fun for sure. Anything else to add, or should we kind of move on?
Yeah, no, that's
I'm
good.
good.
Move on. All right, let's see if I can get back to this playoff bracket. Next, 4 versus 5. Me being the 4, Marcus being the 5. I think this was assigned to Devi. Devi,
Oh
looking
yeah.
at this matchup, buddy, what did you see?
I don't even know where to start. I I am so excited for this matchup. I think this is going to be the one of the week. Uh, I I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be really high scoring.
Mm-hmm.
You have two awesome quarterbacks going against each other. Um, I think they're two top quarterbacks this week. We'll start on Marcus's side. Marcus's receivers and their matchups this week
They're
are
not. They're nice.
absolutely juicy. Metcalf against Philly on Monday night.
Mm-hmm.
Ayuk against Arizona. Cup against Washington. Devonta Smith on Monday against Seattle. They're all in smash spots.
Mm-hmm.
Brian Robinson is kind of the little. I don't even know if he's going to play this week or not. It's kind of a downside there for him. But there's a lot of potential points for him there. Even Javante against Detroit, their defense isn't so scary anymore. He's got a really solid lineup this week. So
yeah, not gonna lie, I don't think I've like fully looked at all these matchups till right now. And yes, they're nice.
like
They're,
his
they're
receivers,
nice
I'd be
for those wideouts.
smashing in DFS for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, and then you jump over to the other side. Like I said, one of the top quarterbacks this week, Kamara in a smash spot against the Giants. You're pairing AJ Brown with Hurts again on Monday. I think I like too that this is going to potentially decided on Monday with all the players going.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Oh yeah.
ETN in a good spot against Baltimore. I think there's just the downside on your team is I saw Adams could be questionable. If not, he's in a great spot against the Chargers. Um, it's just I think it's going to be a really good matchup. So yeah, I'm excited for it.
Doesn't Derrick Henry have like 3 consecutive 200-yard games against
That's
Houston?
Thank you. Yeah, I
I
did
saw
see
that
that.
tweet. I saw that tweet today too. Yeah.
Just add
Like,
it to the list, right?
and he also gets Houston, I think, in week 17 for the championship. Like
Yeah, they do
his
play.
playoff was insane.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's gonna be a great game, man. I think Marcus and I have been like, hitting each other up here back and forth for the last couple weeks, like kind of knowing that we're playing each other already. And yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun, that's for sure, man. Yes, decided on Monday, right? Metcalf and Smith kind of versus Hurts and AJ Brown come Monday night. That's gonna be a fun one.
Yeah. And I
Weird
think that's gonna be
Saturday. Sorry, go ahead, buddy.
what? No, I
Like,
think that's going to be a high scoring game too. I think, I
yeah.
think it's one of the highest totals on the slate with
Oh,
Philly and Seattle. So
I'm sure. I was just gonna add like weird Saturday games too, right? This week, like 3
Right.
Saturday games. So just kind of like a little bits and pieces, kind of like throughout, man. So yeah, really,
yep.
really, really interesting stuff here. All right, let's move on. Let's get back here. We'll kind of make our way down to the negative, right? Talk a little toilet bowl action here. Brody, you got Dev and Tyler, right?
Yep.
Why don't we jump to that? We'll kind of see
Be
where
gentle.
we were at here. Holy's advantage, Tyler.
This
Go ahead, buddy.
this is a rough one for old Devi. I don't like Amon-Ra St. Brown going against Denver. It's got Surtain shadow written all over it. Charbonnet, is he going to be splitting them with Walker? That's a tough run defense too.
The top one with Philly, yeah.
Yeah, but Brees Hall's got a good chance. Miami's not too formidable there, and I think he's really looking for a vintage Russ Wilson. He's looking for like a 40 spot out of Russ against a poor Detroit team. But yeah, Garrett Wilson again drawing probably Xavier Howard or Jalen Ramsey. That's tough. Good luck, Zach Wilson. I mean, then Jackson Smith and Jiggly, he's got a good matchup. And London, Carolina, I think Horton's hurt or their DBs are battered up a little bit, so it's all not too bad there. But he's definitely looking uphill going into the matchup. And then for Tyler, New England, they just don't have much anymore, really. I know they're still ranked number 6, but it seems like they're probably more of maybe a run funnel thing, but they're just not a very good defense in general.
I think Kansas City's looking to put like 40 on someone too here.
Oh,
right.
They're after
That's
last
what I'm
week,
afraid of.
they're looking for it. They're searching for it.
Yep, I agree. Green Bay, terrible run defense. And Rashad White's been actually really, really good of late. I mean, he's averaging over like 17 points a game. That's a smash spot.
I think he's like RB5 on the year. Like I looked at it the other day. I'm like, that's wild, man. Like if you don't own him, like I feel like you don't know that information. But yeah, he's been hot, man.
100%. Mostert versus the Jets, you kind of know. I think Miami's looking to bounce back in there, so the Reek opens up the run game a little bit. Nico Collins, I don't know if he's going to play really, so that might be a little down spot with his injury. But Debo, I mean,
Just been
He's
on
a
fire.
stud. Like it's the only thing with Debo is how reckless he plays. All it takes is one play to score a touchdown and one play to be out for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
That's just the way that dude plays football, and it's just fun to watch.
Yeah.
Ferguson against Buffalo. That's not too bad of a matchup. Buffalo's got athletic linebackers. The one I do like here is Jerome Ford versus Chicago. Chicago's in the last 8 weeks, I found this on Twitter. Their defense ranks #1 in interceptions and #2 in yards per attempt. And their run D ranks #1 in success rate and #2 in yards per carry, allowing 3.2 yards per carry. So that's even though if you look on like the ranking of Chicago's defense, I think they're 21st on there, but that is not true to what that matchup is.
Yeah.
Their defense is playing really good of late.
They've been a lot better after the Sweat trade. Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was a coaching move too, which was week 8 was why that was significant.
Yep, makes sense.
And then James Cook, Dallas versus Buffalo is going to be a fun game. Should be a shootout. Hopefully the weather should be good, right? It's in Dallas, so yeah, it'll be should be a track meet.
Yeah, man, that's gonna be a lot of fun for sure. Debbie, Tyler's looking for a pizza bet, man. Just throwing that out there.
Debbie, would you take the line on here of 17.9 points for a pizza bet?
I don't even know.
I get it, man. I'm not putting you on the spot. Just throwing that out there,
it's funny.
Guys looking for a pizza bet.
It's funny you bring that up because I'm pretty sure we did a pizza bet not too long ago. Not you,
Tyler.
Me and Tyler. And I never heard anything on what he wanted. He won the pizza bet and he never hit me up.
Really?
What do you even do with that? Has it expired?
Oh man.
I mean, a grown ass man. I'm not gonna.
I'd maybe go double or nothing. With
remind you to hit me up and tell me what pizza you want. I don't know.
I'm gonna let you two hash that out, man. That's a good call.
We'll see what he says after he watches this.
Good call. I like it. I dig it.
I was just gonna say one thing. My bench player thing I forgot about was from your guys' matchup. I was trying to look for something right before the show because I forgot, of course.
All good.
Logan Thomas over Cole Kmet, I think, for Marcus's squad. Okay. I think that's a good matchup for Logan Thomas, and I think that's a play I like.
Who's Washington play again?
The Rams. And I think the Rams are very bad against the tight ends. So
yeah, they're kind of one of those teams where you kind of focus in on. I'm with you. Yeah, interesting. I dig it, man. I dig it. Last matchup here. I think we got the 8 versus the 9. Eric the 8 versus Derek the 9. Am I right here? Yes. Things that have kind of gone in Derek's favor here a little bit. Ezekiel Elliott, right? No Ramrod.
I love seeing Zeke in a playoff lineup.
Interesting, man, right?
Or he's not in the playoffs, but yeah.
Zach Moss, no Johnny Taylor. And I'm just going to go right into my bench player. I think Ty Chandler needs to be in this lineup. He's on Derek's team. More than likely, no Madison. Madison may be out a week or two. Ty Chandler versus the Bengals. I just see a lot of work. And I think you got to take Adam Thielen out of the lineup here at this point, man. Like Adam Thielen, just kind of cold, right? Against Atlanta, just not going to get a lot of opportunities. I think I got Ty Chandler over Thielen.
He needs some juice in that lineup. He needs to swing for the fences.
You got to swing for the fences. I agree.
I like it.
I think Ty will make his way into there. I think, right? We're doing this a day early. People haven't quite like finalized lineups yet here, so I think Ty is going to make his way into that lineup here. What kind of stands out for Eric's team? What are you guys seeing?
Bumby still has McCaffrey because that's what I was going after when I was at the trade deadline. It was either Kelsey or McCaffrey, but he was sticking to McCaffrey. So
I was wondering if anyone was going to entice him to kind of get McCaffrey off that team or not. Yeah, I mean, he had the best odds to get that 6 seed coming into last week, though. So I kind of get him not making that trade, but McCaffrey versus Arizona is juicy,
right?
I think Swift has a big bounce back week this week on Monday. I think he could put up some pretty solid points.
I like that. There's been too much talk of like Philly not running the ball for them to like, kind of establish the run here a little bit. I like that. I think Michael Pittman versus Pittsburgh, like Pittman's been hot too, man. Like another guy,
Right.
like if you don't own, he's like a top 12 wide receiver, probably, so somewhere in that mix, where he's just been hot.
And to quote Christian again, the Jalen Waddle week's got to come at some point. And if I
Mhm.
think Tua is going to go off, it's going to need more than just Reek. So
Mm-hmm.
give me Waddle too against the Jets. Hopefully that they finally hit their stride.
Yep. I like it, man. I like it. A
D
little more.
Hop against Houston. A
Yep.
little revenge game, kind of.
Well, yeah, for sure.
Levis gonna throw for 500 yards.
For sure.
Is Stingley out too? Or see, I
Uh,
think he actually played. Never mind. I think it was a different one.
Good question.
no, yeah, I think you're right.
Good question. Advantages Eric's team, right? You can kind of see the green dots, but I like Derek's squad here. Sam Howell's always like randomly good for like a 30-point week, right? I think the Rams like could certainly be
Just
that.
not to Terry McLaurin.
Not to Terry for some reason, not to Dotson for some reason. Sounds like Logan Thomas is going to have his week.
Laporta's due for a game, right?
Yeah,
He's been quiet.
he's kind of been every other, right? And
Yeah.
here's his other. I think yeah, that's another good one. Mike Evans is kind of due, get Thielen out of that lineup, put Ty Chandler in, get a little juice, right?
Mm-hmm.
I dig it. Kenneth Walker, one more week off the injury. I like it, man. I like it. This was fun.
Yeah,
This was
I
fun.
like going through those. A lot of good matchups. This is going to be a fun week.
Yeah, a lot of
Yes,
good
it is.
matchups. It's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, all that's very, very true. This is our last show until kind of after everything kind of wraps up here. Too hard to kind of schedule over Christmas. Then fantasy championship week, just kind of too hard again. But we'll bring one more kind of to wrap up the season, which is kind of crazy to think about. God, fantasy football like goes by way too quick, man.
Every year.
Right.
Every year, way too quick. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I look forward to kind of doing this every week, and like it's a very fun, very active league. Hopefully people are like appreciative of the pod, and it's a good time. So anything else, boys?
No, enjoy the sweat this weekend, boys, and we'll see you next week.
I could say good luck to each and every one of you. Rody, you don't need it, right? You're preaching rest to your team.
Yep.
Rest and health.
Go to Nicaragua.
Yep, there we go. Debbie, good luck, buddy.
I'm gonna need it. Thank you.
All right, boys. Talk to you later.
Yeah.